Let's move into Pattern Editor and make whatever changes we need to make. First thing I've done is got all my patterns merged in. I've taken the original patterns and copied them below, and then I've made little titles so that I know these were the originals, and down here is the working patterns. This is all for the front. I've already aligned everything. So I'm going to ungroup all these. This does not have a bust point on the pattern other than this circle. So that's the bust point. Just draw a line straight out, intersect it with the center back. This is the waistline, so I can go ahead and intersect this to here and to the center back. I think what I'll do is offset from the waist 1 inch. This is going to be my new pattern ending line. So I'm going to cut each of these lines between the patterns. Click once to select the line, double click to make your cut at that point. And then we intersect. Now I'm going to go in here and shift around my text and come in here and group my grain line markers where I need to. And place new ones. I'll scale down. I could probably scale this back up. That's better. Okay, so this center back is 18. I'm going to put a 15-inch fold on, place on fold symbol. I'm doing 15 because the jacket is going to be cut off here, and this measurement goes to the bottom. Zoom in close, flip on its vertical axis. Okay, so I can go ahead and intersect and get rid of that. And then one more intersection, center front here. And then get rid of that. I went ahead and aligned my lining pieces too. But I'm not going to place balance lines on those until I'm going to have to modify this front facing whenever I move the neckline up here. So this is 5. Let's put a point at 3 inches down. And then I'm going to do a specification to see what the distance is from the current neckline drop to the new point, 2.767. I'm going to offset that amount here. And then I'll intersect here to here, here to here, and the center front. I can get rid of this. Actually, I'll leave it so that I have a reference for my facing. Let's get our facing over here. Line up the shoulder seams. That's pretty good. So I'm going to select the facing and then select this new line here. I'm going to copy it because I don't want to lose this line if I just drag them over. And group the facing. Intersect the neckline down, the outer cut edge, and the center front. And then we can eliminate these two. So now the facing matches this. This is an extra facing I can get out of the way. Put it up here. I'm going to group this, put it back over here. I'm going to group this. We'll worry about hems in just a minute. Okay. We did get the new facing, so we're going to get out of it. We're going to put this up in the original patterns. I am going to go ahead and line this facing back up because I will be breaking this apart and cropping it 1 inch below the waist. So I will need to have my balance lines in. Before we do that, I'm going to bring this over here and line it up. I'm going to ungroup the working pattern on the front. I'm going to copy the bust line and lay it on top of itself. Take that copy and the facing and move it over. That'll give me my balance line for the bust. I can go ahead and group this back. And then let's come over here. And ungroup all three. Intersect to intersect. The waistline. Offset 1 inch. Cut in between the patterns. Click once, double click. And then intersect. And then intersect down here. Alright, so we can get rid of all that. Let's go ahead and intersect these dart legs so we know. Actually, I'm going to intersect them down here. Apparently, I didn't get that lined up, the alignment right, because here's the waist. Okay. I'm going to move this text out of the way. Group my alignment grain line symbol. And then this is 14, so let's do a 12-inch place on fold. Now remember that I'm going to reduce this to 1.5 inches, so I'm going to put my grain line marker somewhere in here. And I'm going to flip it. Let's go ahead and offset this center, this line here. Put that there. And then we can intersect to this new line. And I can get rid of that old one. So this is now going to be our basted line. I need to go up 1.25 inches, or 1.5 inches rather. I need to cut this. Come up here and do the same thing. We can go ahead and do our stitching lines. Change to our stitching lines. Now you don't have to escape out of that. You can go ahead and select the lines from another pattern. I'll be back to hem this. Let's move on to hemming the jacket patterns. So I'm going to put a 2-inch hem in. And for every straight line, we can just simply go ahead and intersect. In order to get a smooth turn up and insertion of this hem, we're going to have to do some math on these angled lines. So that's 1.096. 2 minus 1.096 is 0.904. So I need to put a point .904. Break the line at that point. Select both of these. Copy them. Hold your control key, go straight down. Select them again and flip them on the horizontal axis. Select them again. Get in tight, hold your control key, and match it up to that turn up. Now, this is not going to be perfect, so you will have to go ahead and intersect. .095, 2 minus 1.095, 0.905. .905. Break it at the point. Select these two, copy, hold your control key, drag them straight down. Select them again, flip it on the horizontal axis. Select them again, hold your control key and move them straight up. So it matches with that hem turn up. And then intersect here to here and here to here. Now let's go ahead. I put my grain line symbol in everywhere but here. So let's place a 2-way grain. I'm going to go 15 inches on a vertical angle. Now we'll do change these lines over to our stitching lines. And I'm going to select the lines on all the patterns I can and do it all at once. Hold down your Shift key to select multiple objects. Let's hope this works. Yep. Sometimes it'll deselect everything. All right, now we can go ahead and offset our seam allowance, which for me is 5/8 of an inch. All right, so I missed this line and this line to change to the stitching lines. All right, so now I can go ahead and intersect. Sometimes the order that you do your intersections matters. If there's a slight arc to a line, you could get it intersecting into a circle. All right, so that's all done. We can group all this. Okay. Now I've gone ahead and done my sleeve facings and pockets off camera, but all that is a simple changing to the stitching lines and doing your offsets. Next video is going to be the skirt.